Should I be a principal? Hi, I'm Chuck. I'm an educator with a new job this year and a new commute and this new podcast. And you are riding along shotgun today on the Drive Time Diary. If you're new here, thanks for coming. But all this podcast is me in the car by myself, reflecting on the day's events, pop culture, my family, my faith, the news, what happens at school, what happens around, any of those things. It's all fair game on things in my brain. So, should I be a principal? In one respect, this is a super early question because nobody's offering me principal positions whatsoever. But as I mentioned in the last episode, I a few weeks ago started a program at Northwest Missouri State called for educational leadership, K-12, with the goal of students getting their administrator certification in the state of Missouri when they're done. So why am I doing this? On one very basic level, it's to get a raise at school, just because of the way that teaching salaries work. If you don't know, basically the only way to give yourself a raise is to move schools to a more high-paying district or get professional development credits or graduate credits. And so one thing I'm doing is taking more hours so I can get myself a raise that way. But if I was only about a raise, then there are much cheaper ways to do this. There's different schools that pretty much their whole market is teachers trying to tack on hours so that they can move with the pay scale. But this is a deliberate decision to get this ed specialist degree, which is a level above a master's, and position myself to maybe go ahead and get a doctorate after this also, and some more hours. But why ed leadership? Why talking about school leadership and being a principal in the first place? I told myself for a very long time that I did not want to be a principal. I wanted to stay in the classroom. That's where the fun is. That's where you are getting more one-to-one interactions with kids. But what also is true for the people that know me most, they know that I have strong opinions, and I think wise opinions about what we should be doing in schools. And I mean, this podcast is an outlet for that also, as we think about schools. So basically, in encouragement, my wife got to the point where she was like, you have all these things about schools that frustrate you, or the way that school works, or the ways that schools are led, and the only way you're going to be able to do anything about that is if you go and do the same thing yourself. So here I am, taking these classes this year. I'm trying to do this entire degree, all 30 hours in one calendar year. My master's actually I did in one calendar year also. It was not easy, but it was doable. So I'm going to have a pretty stressful year, but I'm going to have this whole 30 hours done by December of this calendar year, December 24th. And then, hopefully, ensuing from that will be the next job and the next challenge, which would be an assistant principalship. So, should I be a principal? Do I even belong here? I don't know. In some respects, I think definitely, because the way that my brain works, the way that I've come to experience in education, I don't think I'm ever going to be the best subject content teacher. I am never going to be that person because of the way that I like to be good at lots of different things. That makes me not excellent at really anything, unless your skill is doing lots of things moderately good, which in my respect, I think is a skill, to be able to do all of those things and kind of balance that. But I am never probably going to be the best math teacher in a building. Or when I went to undergrad at Mizzou to be a social studies teacher, that was probably the best shot I had, was being the best social studies teacher in the building. I was really excited about that, and I still have a lot of those skills. But at this point, even, I haven't been practicing that for the last 16 years, so that wouldn't happen. I have a certification in science. I'm never going to be the best science teacher. And a lot of people, educators who also would never go into administration, might say that if you're not going to be the best teacher, then how are you even going to lead the building? But here's why. Because I am not ever going to be the best insert subject teacher here, but I am moderately good at lots of stuff, what I think that allows me to do is have an informed opinion on any subject area in any classroom. And I think that makes me good to have a leadership framework, because I know I'm going to be able to, I learn very quickly also. I think I'm really good at picking up a base layer of information and knowledge faster than the average person. And I think that's really important too, because the worst thing, from my experience as a math teacher, or you could insert your subject here also, the worst thing was, or has been, sitting in evaluation meetings or coaching meetings, talking with someone who had no idea about what it was like to teach in a math classroom, or to teach literature, or to teach social studies, teach science. Insert your subject area in the blank there. But in the experience that I've had, I've taught lit classes, I've taught social studies classes, I've taught ACT prep. The only subject area I haven't really taught is PE, and I've done a lot of planning with science, but I've not ever taught a science course specifically. But I've had my hand in lots of different subjects and classes, and looking at those standards, and I think that makes me a really good candidate to coach any kind of content area, and to lead any kind of content area, because I could step in that class and I could look at a lesson plan and a unit plan, and using my skills to read and interpret the way that standards are written, from writing curriculum that I've done in the past, and I could step into a classroom and know what that was supposed to look like. And I don't think that, I think that probably most a base level of good administrators are able to do that. Not maybe even every administrator can do that, no matter the content area. But I know that not every just classroom teacher could do that, because I hear the classroom teachers say that. I've seen the math teacher who is like, oh, English, I could never do that. I've seen the English teacher who's like, math, I could never do that. And I never feel that way. I definitely think you could give me a lesson plan, a unit plan from any subject area, and I could step in and I could fill in there, and I would do a moderately okay job. If you think about the idea of, in baseball, there's the idea of, there's this stat called wins above replacement WAR, and it allows you to compare players to see how many, or how much better they were than the average player at that position in Major League Baseball. So if we were to think about my WAR as a teacher, I don't know, so like a zero WAR, a zero win above replacement would be you were totally average. I would hope that my math class WAR is at least positive. It's not going to be the highest WAR. Like I said, I'm probably not ever going to be the best math teacher in a building. But I think it would at least be positive. I have 16 years of experience doing that now. If the average teacher has like 5 years of experience or something, because of the way a teacher turnover works, then I definitely have some confidence that I would do better than someone just with less experience. If we're comparing 16 years to 16 years, probably not. I don't know. But wins by replacement, math, I think that'd be positive. But I don't think there's any subject area where I would be dramatically, like, as a negative impact into the class. I think I could step into any class and keep things afloat. Kids would not leave that room dumber than after I came in. And other things that I've heard teachers talk about in the past is so-and-so administrator, they could not ever do what I could do in this class. They don't know any idea what it's like. And I just think the way that my brain works, I think I could do that. If you needed me to put my money where my mouth was and come in and co-teach a lesson with you, no matter the content, I have all confidence in myself that I would be able to do that. And I think that tells a lot. In my opinion, that tells a lot about how a classroom teacher could trust me as an instructional coach or as administrator. I could come in and be your co-planning partner, and we would be able to speak some of the same language. And I think that's really valuable, and I think that is really important for an administrator. So, should I be a principal? I don't know, but that's kind of the path I'm on now. So, we'll see where that goes. I just started my classes. I'm a little more than halfway through my first 2 classes. They're all 7 weeks long, and we'll see where we go with this, and we'll see what we keep talking about on this podcast. And sometime in the near future, maybe we'll see if Chuck Baker is just full of hot air, or if he's got some skills in this game. But we're in the driveway, so this episode has to be over. Thanks for riding shotgun along today. Let me know what you think. Real answers only. You can be brutally honest. Should Chuck Baker be a principal? Let me know what you think about this episode or anything about what I said. You can hit me on the X at Chuck C. Baker, Instagram at Mr. C. Baker for math, or at Drive Time Diary. Or, as always, hit me in real life, or text message, or phone call, or email. And I will see you on the next drive. Stay safe.